the Formula 1 French Grand Prix. It's round 2. It's qualifying here in the 2021 season. It's wet here today. French Grand Prix, but this is qualifying. We are back after an amazing race last week on, I think, Tuesday with in the Bahrain. Well, we are here with France, and I can't wait. Lewis Hamilton won the race in Bahrain, and Jack came second. So is that well, basically he won the race, basically, but because of his fast time penalty, he came second. Well, it was a Mercedes P1, P2. Anything can happen in qualifying, though, but that only decides where they start. What's the main thing is the race. Top 10 could be fighting for P1. So everyone's aiming to get to Q3 so they can be in the top 10. We are now on board with Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin, as he was the first car to come out of the garage of the pits. I've got a question for you guys though. As you see on this this is my YouTube channel and I'm commentating whilst Jack is driving. But would you like it if on Jack's channel we did the same thing, but he's the commentator and I'm the driver? Comment down below if you would like that, and I'll probably drive with McLaren. We will be doing this on F1 2022 and we will try and pre-order it. Jack's already pre-ordered his. I'm going to pre-order mine very soon. But would you like to see it like only one season on F1 21, because of course we got F1 22 next. Anyway, there's a sector 3 problem, but I think it's fine. Didn't see anything wrong. But Lance Stroll is just about to finish his outlap, and he has. It's now on his lap. And well, we're on inters here in France. So they won't be going as fast as they normally would, but they can still fight. The weather forecast says when there's 3 minutes left, so in 12 minutes we will stop having rain and it will be dry, so they will be able to come out on the softs, and that will probably be the biggest 29 seconds for sector 1 for Lance Stroll. That will probably be the best bit of qualifying 1, because they've had terrible laps. Second lap or third lap, whatever they choose, they come out on the softs. They all fight for P1, fight to get to in 15th or above, but only 15 can make it, and the other 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh yeah, the other 4 won't make it. Well, we are on board with Lance Stroll as he's finished his sector 2. He is now, as you can see, all that water coming down on your screens. He is now going round right now the final 2 corners, ready for the final straight. Remember, no DRS. He's on the final straight. He's going down. He goes past the DRS zone, but there is no DRS. He's going down, passing the pits, and he's going to get a 145.6 next across the line. It's going to be Kimi Raikkonen with a 146.2, whilst Jack gets a 142.4.
Hopefully you guys can fix it before it's dry conditions.
Well, Charles Leclerc across the line next to 144.2. Next across the line is going to be Nicholas Latifi, who gets a 146.8. After Nicholas Latifi is going to be Mr. Carlos Sainz Jr., who gets a 144.3 as well. Next is going to be Sebastian Vettel, who is also on a lap, and he is going to get, now on the final straight, a 145.4, whilst Yuki Tsunoda gets 145.3. Next across the line will be, I think, Esteban Ocon. Oh! There's a big pole up here. I wonder what's going on. I feel bad for Sergio Perez because he's on his lap, so that could have done some damage to him now. Well, Esteban Ocon is next across the line, and he will be finishing his first lap. He's now on the final straight, and he's going to get a 1:46.1. Next across the line is Lando Norris, but he's going on to his outlap. And there's more stuff going on, and I think it's the Mercedes of Jack. Yes, he spun out. Well, whilst that's happening, nothing else has happened. Well, Daniel Ricciardo is going, Lando Norris is going to cross the line. He's the next person to finish his lap, and he gets a 1:44.0, which puts him into P2. Next to cross the line is going to be Lewis Hamilton, but he's just started his lap. Next will be Sergio. Well, next will be Max Verstappen and then Fernando Alonso, but they're just starting their lap. The Aston Martin's pitting. So the next person to finish the lap will be Sergio Perez. But is he boxing? That is the question. Because there was a yellow flag in Sector 2 where he was, but he hasn't boxed. It doesn't look like a good time because of what happened. Yeah, it's a terrible time. It's a shocking 1:49.9. Next across the line is going to be George Russell starting his next lap. Now it's Pierre Gasly starting his first lap. After him it's going to be Antonio Giovinazzi starting his first lap as well, and then it will be just Mick Schumacher that needs to end it. Well, let's watch let's watch Daniel Ricciardo, because he's going to be the next person to finish the lap with a 1:44.6, which puts him into P5. Everyone's got the line now, so at least once. And Pierre Gasly gets the fastest Sector 1. The McLaren is pitting. The Lewis Hamilton isn't pitting though. Pierre Gasly got purple Sector 1, but what's going to happen with Sector 2 and Sector 3, I haven't got a clue. But Lewis Hamilton will be the next person to cross the line with a time. So, he's on the final straight. His teammate's in P1 with 1:42.4. To get P2, he needs a 1:44.0. I think that's possible, but he's going to get a 1:43.4. He's in P2. Next is going to be Max Verstappen to cross the line with a 1:43.2. He takes second place. Next for Fernando Alonso, who gets a 1:45.2. Next up is going to be George Russell, but I'm going to watch Pierre Gasly because he did have fastest Sector 1, so we're just going to see what George Russell gets. But Pierre Gasly is probably P7 with 1:44.5. Next across the line is going to be Antonio Giovinazzi. Doesn't look like a good time, but is it good for an Alfa Romeo? He gets a 1:46.5, which puts him into P16. Next across the line will be the only Haas driver, and he's on the final straight. He's going to be last across the line with a time, and everyone's finished now. At least one lap with 1:46.9. Sergio Perez, that did some damage, that Sector 2 yellow flag. But I will catch you all later on in Q1 when everyone starts coming out again. DRS is now enabled, so Soft could be the best tyres very short. And is now on the soft, so he is the first out on the softs. So softs are now really fast. DRS is enabled, so it's all coming down to this. And Q2 and Q3 is also going to have wet and dry drama as well. This is going to be the best qualifying there is this season. Well, Kimi Raikkonen has just finished his Sector 1 on the outlap. He's the only one out on track so far. Everyone else will be coming out shortly. The reason no one came out for however long it was because they had to wait to see if Soft or Intis were the best strategy.
2 seconds quicker, it's getting so much better, Well,
Well, Antonio Giovinazzi, Lance Stroll, and Schumacher have all put on the softs and are starting to come out now as well. So is Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz, Yuki Tsunoda, Vettel, Stroll, Perez. Everyone's starting to put on the softs now. Fernando Alonso, Daniel Ricciardo. Everyone's putting on the softs. It's just Latifi, Leclerc. Yeah, everyone's starting to come out now. But Kimi Räikkönen now, he's going to be behind a lot of traffic. It's not going to be good for him at all. He's going to have a lot of traffic in front of him on his lap. But he starts his lap. He is in the danger zone right now, Kimi Räikkönen. He is in the danger zone. And then it's the Sector 1 problem, but I think it's all sorted out. Anyway, Kimi Räikkönen, he needs a better time, but will he, with all these cars ahead of him, will he get a better time? Hamilton just came out. He gets the fastest Sector 1 with 25. Oh my god, look at all those cars. Jack is starting to come out now as well. Everyone's on the soft, everyone's going fast. Kimi Räikkönen is on the Sector 2. He's behind a Red Bull. He gets past Red Bull. They're gonna have to let him through. They just have to let them through. They have to let him through. Because if they don't let him through, they will get a penalty. He gets a 59 point something. I couldn't see it that well. But he's now on Sector 3. It's the final sector. He could put in, but everyone's starting their laps now. Kimi Räikkönen is now behind a Williams, so he needs to gain on the Williams. As you can see from this angle, he is gaining, but Williams is going to have to let him through. He's finished the last corners. It's the final straight. He gets DRS this lap. He gets the DRS. He's on the final straight. He's going to cross the line with a 141.7. It's the fastest lap of the race so far, but that is because he's on the softs. We're now going to watch the next person. Well, actually, let's watch Sergio Perez, because Sergio Perez is so far in bottom position, and he needs to do better now. Because he's a Red Bull, he shouldn't be out. The only reason he did terrible, he just got 24.6, which was the fastest Sector 1 of the race. The reason he did terrible was because of a yellow flag. But he can do better on these softs now. Jack is the only person on his outlap, but he's just going to finish his outlap and he is on his lap. He goes past Kimi Räikkönen. And the Sector 2 time for Sergio Perez is going to be a 54.0. That's the fastest Sector 2. And remember, they are getting DRS as well, so it's going to be way faster than before. He's on the final sector. Sergio Perez. Mick Schumacher gets faster that with 140.8, but then it's 140.1 for Antonio Giovinazzi. A Haas is beating an Alfa Romeo. Lance Stroll with 139.3 and Carlos Sainz with 137.8. Then it's Lando Norris with 137.5. And Yuki Tsunoda with 138.9. Vettel with 138.9. Perez with 137.0. There's a lot coming in. We're going to go watch Jack as well. George Russell with 139.5. Oh my god, a lot going on. Alonso with 138.6. Daniel Ricciardo with a 138.5. Lewis Hamilton with a new fastest lap, 136.3. There's a lot going on. Jack is in 19th place, so he needs to do well this lap. So it goes Lewis Hamilton, Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly, in the drop zone, Kimi Räikkönen, Mick Schumacher, Antonio Giovinazzi, Nicholas Latifi in the danger zone, and it looks like Jack just got the fastest lap of the race, which he did at 135.7. Let's go through the table. It's Jack, Lewis Hamilton, Perez, Leclerc, Norris, Verstappen, Sainz, Gasly, Ricciardo, Alonso, Vettel, Tsunoda, Ocon, Stroll, Russell, getting knocked out, Latifi, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher and Raikkonen. Let's go to the qualifying to Vettel, Pierre Gasly, Sergio Perez.
It's dry. Okay, let's go quickly do a lap.
Jack, Fernando Alonso, Charles Leclerc, Lance Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Carlos Sainz and George Russell. Well, first out, it looks like it is Fernando Alonso, so we will be watching him. And I am surprised that only Lewis Hamilton went out on the mediums, because remember, this decides your tyres if you get into the top 10. So I'm surprised that only Lewis Hamilton so far has gone out onto the is on the mediums. But that was fantastic. But I want to quickly check about the weather forecast, because I can't see it right now, but I want to know the weather forecast. So I know if there's rain or not, because last qualifying was exciting, a lot exciting. Qualifying 1 was brilliant, just brilliant. And I'm so happy you guys were there to see it, because that was just unbelievable, Jeff. Anyway, we're going to watch Alonso on his lap as well, because he was the first car out of the pits. It's the Alpine. And I just dropped my lid for my Coke. Absolutely great. Oh. Well, Alonso has just started his lap. There is DRS, remember. So, what can they do today if Fernando Alonso is on his lap? And he's going around the corners. What is the sector 1? And his sector 1 is going to be a 23.5. That, remember, that is the fastest. It has to be the fastest. Because he was the first car out. Well, he's still going for it. He wants to get top 10. Will he get to top 10? Well, Lando Norris, Max Verstappen and Hamilton are all on the mediums, so they're doing the correct thing. Well, here we go then. Alonso, sector 3, final 2 turns. And he's on the final straight. DRS, remember, is enabled. He's got the DRS. He's going to cross the line first. And he's going to get a 133.7. Who's going to be next to cross the line? Well, it looks like it's going to be his teammate Esteban Ocon. But his teammate isn't on the lap yet. It's going to be Yuki Tsunoda now, who gets a 131.1. And Jack gets a 131.3. Jack cuts in ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. Jack is in the lead again. Well, Carlos Sainz gets 132.7. Next is Lewis Hamilton with 133.3. Charles Leclerc with 132.7. Anyone else? Well, it looks like Lance Stroll is going to cross the line next, and his teammates following him. He's got the DRS now. Lance Stroll is going to cross the line. 134.1. Now Sebastian Vettel is going to cross the line, the Aston Martin teammate, and he's going to get a 133.8. He beats his teammate. Next to cross the line, George Russell 134.3. Next is going to be Max Verstappen, but he's going on to a lap. After him, it looks like it's going to be Esteban Ocon behind his Alpine teammate, but his Alpine teammate is pitting, so it's down to Esteban Ocon now. Can he beat his teammate who is in P6? Well, will he get pole position? He's going to get the DRS right about now, and he's going on the final straight to see if he will get P1. It doesn't look like it though. He gets a 133.9. He doesn't even beat his teammate, but Jack goes out for another lap and gets 130.6. Oh God. Next across the line will be Daniel Ricciardo. But something happened to Jack. I wonder what happened. He's letting Perez through because Perez is on his lap. Next across the line, and he's going to cross the line with a 133.7, which puts him into P5. Next across the line is Pierre Gasly, but he's going on to a lap. So 4 drivers that need to cross the line and put in a lap. Daniel Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly, Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen. Well, Max Verstappen will be the first of them 4 to pass the line. And he's going to get the DRS right now. He's going to go. He's going to cross the line. And he's going to get a 133.2 next to cross the line. It looks like it's going to be Sergio Perez, Max Verstappen's teammate. Will he get a better time than Max Verstappen? I haven't got a clue. But let's see what's going to happen. The final 2 corners now for the Red Bull. He's going to go around them quite easily, and now he's going to go down the final straight, get the DRS, sprint to the finish line, and he's going to get a time of 133.4. He doesn't beat his teammate or any Mercedes. Well, Daniel Ricciardo will be the next to cross the line. He's on the final 2 corners. He's on the final straight. He's going to get the DRS. He gets the DRS. He's going to cross the line with... What time will he beat his teammate? Will he get a 133.0? It's in 4th place for him. Next to cross the line and last cross the line on the lap with Pierre Gasly. He gets the DRS. He's going to cross the line with a 133.1. That is P5. And I'll catch you later on in Q2. On the first one out on his outlap. So the Williams is in P15, not that far behind the Aston Martin. I'm surprised the Williams even got this far, to be honest, but he did. So everyone's going to start coming out. If I was in Jack's position, I wouldn't come out because 130.6, that's just brilliant. And he's already done 2 laps, so no need to come out. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna sit back, relax, and enjoy. The top 6 haven't came out, and I don't think they will come out. I think they're pretty secure now. But Hamilton, Perez, Norris, and Yuki Tsunoda are close to getting knocked out. Alonso, Vettel, Ocon, Stroll and Russell right now would be knocked out. But Russell is getting ready to cross the line to start his 2nd and final lap. And here he goes. DRS, crosses the line and starts his lap. And the sector 1, he wants to get to P10 at least to get out of Q2, because imagine a Williams getting through, that would be unbelievable. But he gets a 23.7 sector 1. It's better than his first overall, but not best out of everyone. He's now on sector 2, and to be honest, I would love to see George Russell go through. It'll be like amazing. But he's just about to finish his sector 2 now. He gets 52.4. It's better than his first lap. So he's definitely doing better. But it's that good enough to get out? Or will we get knocked out? Well, final sector. Final 2 corners now. It's the final 2. Right, he's gonna get the DRS. He's got DRS. He's going down the final straight. What's gonna happen? Is he gonna go through? Will he get a 134.2? He's gonna stay 15th, and unless he gets another lap in, he will be finishing 15th. Well, next across the line is going to be Yuki Tsunoda, who gets a... Well, I don't know what it gets, but Q2 is over. And what is the table? Well, we're going to find out now. In a bit, there we go. Jack first, then Hamilton, Perez, Norris, Sainz, Leclerc, Ricciardo, Gasly, Verstappen and Alonso. So who's knocked out? Well, that's Tsunoda, Vettel, Stroll, Ocon and Russell. Let's go into Q. Perez, Jack, Alonso, Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton and Sainz. Well, this is it. This decides where everyone is going to start in the top 10. I want to know right now your prediction. So in the Premiere chat, I will be looking at the Premiere chat and I'll see if you predict before or after the laps are done. Who's going to get pole position? Comment in the Premiere right now. Because after Hamilton starts his lap, there is no more predictions. So in like a minute and 30 seconds, you have to comment now. But we will be with... I'm actually going to be with Jack. But Jack goes off a little bit there. He's fine though. I'm going to stay with Jack for this Q3, this first lap. Because he is the youngster. He is going to prove everybody wrong in this Mercedes. People are saying, oh no, he's not good enough, he won't do well. But maybe they're right, because he just came off the track there. They're all on sauce. Maybe whoever said that is right, but if they're not, can Jack prove them wrong? Well, right now it goes Hamilton, Jack, Gasly, Perez, Verstappen, Norris, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Sainz, Fernando Alonso and Daniel Ricciardo. But Hamilton is going to cross the line now first, and he starts his lap. Right behind him is Jack, who just started his lap now. So he definitely didn't have any damage or he would have pit. So Jack has started his lap. Pierre Gasly just started his lap. Next to start his lap will be Sergio Perez. But let's focus on Jack, because he's going round the last 2 corners of Sector 1. What time is he going to get? Well, Lewis Hamilton gets the fastest one right now. But will Jack take it away from him? It looks like he doesn't. It's a 23.2. Hamilton is faster right now. Perez and Verstappen have started their laps, and Jack right now will be second place, I think. Well, if we carry on with the lap, Jack is behind Hamilton. Get the time back, because so far Hamilton will be P1, and I think Jack wants pole this time. Well, he gets fastest sector 2 with 51.120. So Hamilton with 1 purple, Jack with the other. It all comes down to sector 3. Or will another person take it away? What? They're fighting right now. Both of them are fighting. Everyone but Daniel Ricciardo has started their lap, but Daniel Ricciardo is just about to start his lap. Lewis Hamilton gets a time of, well, we're on board with Jack, but Lewis Hamilton's on the final straight and Jack is now on the final straight. Lewis Hamilton just got the DRS. Jack just got the DRS. Hamilton, the time he gets is a 131.9. Jack gets a 131.6. Gasly gets a 132.9. Next up, Sergio Perez. What time is he going to get? Well, he's on the final straight. He's going to get the DRS right about now. He gets the DRS. He's on the final straight. He's going to get a time of 1:32.0. Max Verstappen next across the line now. What time is he going to get? Is he going to beat his teammate? Well, it looks like he's going to get 1:31.6, which puts him into second place. Well, will Lando Norris take that away from them? He gets DRS. He crosses the line right now, and he gets a 1:32.5. He gets up to P5. Well, next is Charles Leclerc, who crosses the line with 1:32.5. Now it's time for Carlos Sainz to show what he can do. He's at 1:32.6. Next up will be Fernando Alonso to cross the line. It's the final two corners for Fernando Alonso. And now it's the final straight for Alonso. He's got the DRS now. He's going to cross the line. And what time is he going to get? Well, he's going to get a 1:33.6. It puts him into 9th place. But now Daniel Ricciardo is his final straight. He gets the DRS. Is he going to do better than his teammate? Well, he's going to get a 1:32.5, which is better than his teammate. So far, it's Jack, Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Norris, Sainz, Gasly, and Alonso. But it looks like Jack is going for another lap now. So Jack gets 1:31.1. He gets a better time than before. Everyone else is pitting. So let's just watch Jack on his probably in lap. So, what a qualifying 3 we've had. And that is an invalid lap now for Jack, this lap. So, yeah. Brilliant lap from Jack. And he might just get pole position in France. This will but he shouldn't be celebrating yet. Because, well, there's still 6 minutes to go. I will catch you when everyone starts coming out again. Qualifying, we've had a great run in France for qualifying. We've had some rain and we've had dry. But now it's time for the final stretch of qualifying. Jack first, then Max Verstappen, then Hamilton, then Perez, then Ricciardo, Leclerc, Norris, Sainz, Gasly and Alonso. What is going to happen now? Well, we're going to watch Charles Leclerc as he goes around the track for his out lap, and then we'll watch him on his actual lap. Because this is it. I don't know if Pierre Gasly and Alonso will come out. I think they're saving where Hamilton, Verstappen and Jack, it looks like they won't come out. Well, actually, Jack might come out for a victory lap maybe. Or maybe just to do good. Well, coming out now is yep, Jack. So it looks like Verstappen and Hamilton think they've done well enough to stay in the pits. Have they though? Have they done good enough? Well, Charles Leclerc is about to cross the line for his final lap. It is Leclerc's final lap. And he is on the final straight. He's going to get the DRS. Behind him, Carlos Sainz. And then Daniel Ricciardo. Then Lando Norris. Then Sergio Perez. And then Jack. Charles Leclerc started his lap. Everyone that is out now will finish a lap. The people in the pits will not have enough time to finish a lap. So, Max Verstappen, Hamilton, Gasly and Alonso, that is their final time. Max Verstappen with 1:31.6 as Leclerc gets 23.1. Sector 1. Lewis Hamilton with 1:31.9. Pierre Gasly with 1:32.9. Alonso with 1:33.6. Well, Leclerc, what can he do? Is there any magic? There is 1 minute remaining. Well, what is going to happen? He's going on the front strip before Sector 2 is over. Leclerc, your Sector 2 is a 1:31.4. That is 1/10 better than his last time. Well, this is it. This is the final one. Jack, Perez, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Norris and Sainz are all on their final lap. This is it. Leclerc about to do it for him. will do it. Maybe get pin or two corners. He's going to get the DRS on this final straight. DRS. He takes the little bit of a curve. DRS, final straight. Carlos Sainz right behind him. He's going to get a 132.5. That stays in P6. Carlos Sainz gets a 132.4. He beats his teammate. Next up will be Daniel Ricciardo to cross the line. Can he do better than Carlos Sainz? Well, he gets a 132.4, which is better than Carlos Sainz. Now it's Lando Norris's turn to show what he can do. He gets a 132.3. And Perez gets up to P2 with 131.5. So Lando Norris in 5th. And Ricciardo in 6th. Perez takes 2nd spot. Jack will be next to cross the line. Will he get better than his time? Unless Sainz and Leclerc can do something, it looks like Jack will be getting pole position, and we will have the interview with him after he's finished this final straight. DRS is a victory lap. He's going to get pole position. Does he get a better time? Yes, he does. He gets a better time as well. Jack.
Yes. Oh, that was close. Oh, Rain kind of did it off in Q1 though, but we did it.
So, Jack first, Perez, Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris, Ricciardo, Sainz, Leclerc, Gasly and Alonso. Jack, are you there for the interview?
Oh, yes.
Well, P1. There was a lot happening today. You stayed with softs in the Q2 when you could have put on mediums because you'll now be starting with softs in the race. Do you think that was the best strategy?
It's all about track position because there's no point of having mediums if there's a shot that you won't even be able to get to Q2, and if you're outside the top 10 you'll most definitely be starting on mediums, so not the point.
Also, so your teammate not that well today, P4. Will that ruin your chances for the Constructors' Championships, or do you think he'll come back and do well?
Well, he might come back. You never know. He's on the mediums. He obviously has the better strategy, but he doesn't have track position, just like I said.
Well, also, so you came out for a last lap today. That could have done bad to your tyres. Like you could have got more wear. Do you think now that you've seen you would have came first anyway? Do you still think you should have came out for another lap?
Should have came out better safe than sorry, because if anyone improved in that time, I would have had to jump, got him off the start, and we all know how risky that would have been.
Well, final question for today, which I ask every single interview. Who was your biggest rival today in qualifying?
I wouldn't say that I had a rival today. There wasn't much up in. Obviously in Q3 on the second lap, Lewis Hamilton did kind of block me. So I don't know really. I'd say maybe Lewis Hamilton.
Well, thank you for your time, and now we're going to go through the driver standings. So, Lewis Hamilton winning the championship so far with 25 points. Next is Jack with 18, Daniel Ricciardo with 15, Leclerc with 12, Perez with 11, Norris with 8, Sainz with 6, Gasly with 4, Vettel with 2, Tsunoda with 1, and then Alonso, Raikkonen, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Russell, Schumacher, Ocon, Latifi and Max Verstappen all with 0 points. For the constructors, it's Mercedes with 43, then McLaren 23, Ferrari 18, Red Bull 11, AlphaTauri 5, Aston Martin 2, and Alpine, Alfa Romeo, Williams and Haas with 0. I'll see you all tomorrow for the French Grand Prix.